Hi everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the Northeast Retro Den podcast, Nerdcast, the five-time podcast.
Number 5.
Pity we couldn't have used that for the wrestling one. Tonight it's all toys and games, so with me as ever is Michael Henderson, Chris Sager, Mick Smith, where we'll be discussing your G.I. Joes from your Action Men, your Autobots from your Decepticons, your Centurions from your Visionaries. We're here, episode 5. Cast. So we're back with the Retro Den podcast, and just like a micro machine, we come in a collection of 5, at least until the next episode. But who would have thought would make it this far? The theme tonight, guys, is things that come in a collection of 5. No, it's toys and games from the 80s and 90s and our favourite times, 70s, I suppose. For Michael.
Not for me.
So, what? Before we get started, though, what's everyone been up to? We've not jumped at once.
Playing Lego Batman 3.
On what?
PS4. It's on PS now.
All right, cool.
I'm like 2 races away from completion.
Hey, I'll cut this section. I was going to see. Right. So to get into the swing of things with this toy and game related episode, we'll start off where we'll have a bit of chat on the toys we loved. Which were your favourites from when you were a kid or up till now? We're all big children at the end of the day, aren't we?
Well, I'm sure we're pretty much all sort of from the 80s. For me, it started with Star Wars. I don't know about anyone else, did it? So
I collected Star Wars when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the main ones, and that went on for a good few years. I thought. My mother went all over the Northeast, looking for certain figures that I wanted and needed, and it was a dark day when I grew out of Star Wars. Dark day. I was devastated.
You grew out of Star Wars?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Star Wars toys.
How does that work?
I don't know. I'm gutted. I'm gutted it happened, but it did. It happened. I grew out of them, and then I moved on and went on to Transformers. And they were pretty much predominantly my only 2 huge collections that I loved, toys-wise. The only 2 as a kid.
Was it did you collect one faction or was it both? You know, were you collecting the Rebels or the Empire? Or...
No. Well, for Transformers, I was Autobots, and my cousin was the Decepticons, and I was always jealous because he had Megatron, and I just thought Megatron looked the part, but I'd never wanted him, even though he looked really good. And as time went on, and obviously Galvatron emerged, I ended up buying, well, I didn't buy, I got my mother to buy Galvatron, and I absolutely loved that, and I kept them all pristine, boxed. All my Transformers were boxed and kept all. Absolutely loved them, Transformers, I did. In fact, and it's because of you, Simon, that last week I had a few drinks and started buying them again.
I remember the conversation on Facebook, yes.
Yes.
From the new Siege, yeah.
And then when I seen some of your collection, it just looked really good. Doesn't it look really good? Don't they? When they're all on display.
It's good that they've taken the classic characters we love and given us toys that actually now represent them. Because as much as I love G1 and Transformers, and you know, it was my biggest thing when I was a kid was Transformers. There was a bit of imagination needed because they didn't really quite look how they did in the cartoon a lot of the time. Some looked alright. Optimus Prime looked decent. Hot Rod looked quite good. But like, for example, Ratchet and Ironhide looked nothing like that in the thing. Megatron, the toy of Megatron's a bit sort of odd looking.
Yeah, I think Ultra Magnus was quite good. I had Ultra Magnus.
Magnus was decent.
Yeah, I had him.
But a lot of them, once we get, they weren't very articulated. A lot of them, so kind of like bricks. So now to get like the classic, like I've got one sat here, is a more modern version of Megatron.
Nice.
This isn't from the latest one. This is from about 5 years ago, from the Combiner Wars series. But they've done. I don't know if you can see. They've actually, they've nailed his face and everything.
Yeah.
Bonus points for whoever in the comments can tell me why he's wearing an Autobot logo.
Oh.
Yeah. I think I must have gone down a pretty similar route to you. Star Wars was, I think, the first big thing I can remember being into. Me and my brother got them one Christmas. I got the Rebels and he got the Empire. So I got the Millennium Falcon and he got the Star Destroyer. I remember. And I remember being right knocked because he got that. I got the Snow Speeder and he got Vader's TIE Fighter. And then he got a speeder bike.
I got that.
And I got a pair of slippers. And I was
devastated.
That matters when you're that age.
Do you mean the speeder which you press the button and it breaks in two?
Explodes, yeah.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, I started off with them. I mean, favourite Star Wars figure was there was a Lando Calrissian figure where he was in the Jabba outfit, the skiff guard outfit. Halberd and his helmet, and it was like he looked badass in that. That was my favourite Star Wars figure.
That was good. My favourite was Greedo.
Right.
I don't know why. I used to love Greedo, and the bounty hunters. All the bounty hunters. I loved them all, and I used to play with them in the front garden. And my front garden was like Endor. That's what the front garden was. All the soil and the little plants, and I used that. And I ended up burying a lot of the Star Wars figures there. They still might be there now. I literally buried them deep as I could to keep them there, so I could play with them another day. So who knows where?
Are you a dog?
Yeah.
We were at school. This kid had the Darth Vader figure, and it had like a little thing for his lightsaber to come out of his wrist, little slidey thing. And we just seen Empire Strikes Back where there was the scene where Luke thinks he's confronting Vader and cuts his head off, and it's not actually Vader's. And we told this kid that you could take the head off and put it back on, and he did. He couldn't get it back.
Oh no! All fun and games. What about you, Mick? And Bonnie Scotland?
Big Cabers. No, I had a few Star Wars figures, not an awful lot. We kind of grew up in the country, so we didn't have loads, but Lego was probably my thing I played with the most, other than bikes and footballs and things, but like inside, Lego. Building loads of stuff, usually spaceships, and the little space people with their little backpacks and red helmets with the Saturn on the front of them and stuff like that. Still got pretty much most of my old Lego that the Bairn's been playing with. Timeless.
You much of a Star Wars collector as a kid, Chris? Because you're just a young'un. You were probably collecting the 90s stuff, were you? Getting your Jar Jar Binks figures and that.
So, I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I never really got into Star Wars until my teens, I think, because it wasn't a big thing when I was a kid. I mean, everyone knew what Star Wars was, but I was born in 85, so I grew up like early 90s, mid-90s. And Star Wars had a bit of a lull then.
You're in that lull, aren't you, just before it got popular again?
Yeah.
But I really got into it in my teens, and but at that point I wasn't really into toys and collecting, so I never really collected the toys. I do envy them now when I see people with them in the. I kind of wish I had that as a kid, but it's what it is.
So, being a child of the 90s, what was your bag?
Actually, it took me a while to work out what was your favourite, to be honest. So I had things like Lego, had loads of Lego, loads of like Scalextrics, I had Action Man, I had Thunderbirds, all sorts of different things. But my favourite was Power Rangers. So I love Power Rangers. When I was at school, primary school, remember the kids were talking about this Power Rangers and it's brilliant this and these big Megazord and all the rest of it. And I remember it was on ITV, and I was just obsessed. And I got all the toys for Christmas, and I got the deluxe Megazord.
Nice.
And it all comes apart, and you can have the T-Rex, the Triceratops, all separate, or you can build them all together, and then you can get the Dragon Zord, and then the Dragon Zord joins in. It's brilliant. So
should we just leave you to it for a little while because you clearly want to have a bit of a play?
So, when I went to my dad moved out of his house a couple of years ago, and I went in the loft and 2 boxes there, Megazord, Dragon Zord, I thought champion, that's brilliant. I'll open them up, all totally empty, missing. So I had the boxes and I didn't have the toys. So I went on this mission a couple of years ago to try and re-get them. And I got the Megazord straight away. It was only recently I got the Dragon Zord, like a month ago. So yeah, they were my favourite toys. I just loved them. I remember just playing for hours and hours as a kid.
I mean, it was a great movie. It was a great family movie. Power Rangers, the movie. I loved it.
Hasn't aged well. Like I've got I actually found the DVD box set, the original season in the charity shop, like 2 or 3 days ago. I stuck a few on. Hasn't aged well at all.
Chris, who was your ranger out of? Who was your favourite ranger out of all of them? Pink.
Green Ranger.
Really?
No, that would have been yours, Sando.
Just Pink mine then.
Was the Green Ranger the one who wasn't normally part of them and he joins them all?
So the Green Ranger came later. He
Yeah.
was like the evil Ranger that came and then became a Power Ranger.
I don't know why I know
Isn't he-
that.
Is
Was
he the
it
one
that-
with?
Sorry, Michael, go.
I was going to say, is it the Green Ranger? Is that Tommy?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's the one who had a big fallout with was it Jean-Claude Van Damme?
That's right. That's where I know him from, yeah.
Because
Didn't
he became a cage fighter, didn't he?
I just know they had a big fallout because Tommy, or whatever his real name was, the Green Ranger, was a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, and then he finally met him in JVC, was an arsehole, I think, to him, as far as I know, basically.
Don't think that's a massive surprise.
No, pretty much not, no. These famous people, you know what they're like.
Was his name like Jason Scott Frank or something like that?
Yeah.
You lot, Power Ranger knowledge is way over me.
I don't know his name.
I've seen stuff about him on YouTube and stuff since then. So Power Rangers was a bit after my time, but I know the guy you're talking about.
He became a cage fighter for a while, I think. But he
goes to all the conventions and things, doesn't he? Apparently, he's a really good guy to meet. If you're into that sort of thing.
He's certainly the most iconic Power Ranger and character that was from the series.
Right.
I think so anyway.
For me, it was as much as I was we're talking about like Star Wars, and I was one of these kids out. I would go from one thing to another. I loved Star Wars, and I would collect everything Star Wars. But then when something new came out, I'd ditch it all and collect something different. I did that with Transformers. I was getting the Autobots. My brother was getting the Decepticons, and then a year or two later, it was Zoids for me. If you remember Zoids.
Do you remember, Simon? I don't know about you, but I remember when you were younger and you collected Transformers, but your nana or granda didn't have a clue, and they would would buy you the rip-off, or, from Palm Stretcher. So to me, that would be a Zoid or whatever, something like what the hell is this crap? You know what I mean? That's not an Autobot. That's not a Decepticon. Just a crap that would fall to pieces. And they didn't have a clue, did they? It's a robot. What's the matter with you?
Yeah, you'd get a GoBot if you're lucky. I remember going to talk about the worst decisions you ever made. Transformers the movie and GoBots Battle for the Rock Lords were both on at the cinema in Newcastle. And I said to my mum, we'll go and see GoBots.
Never.
And I never saw Transformers the movie in the cinema.
No
and it's
way.
so good. And GoBots is rubbish.
Yeah. Brilliant movie. But there you go. I'll tell you what we were talking about earlier as well, Simon, on Facebook, was pocket money toys back in the day as well. And like for me, I think for you as well, it was Muscle Men.
Yeah,
was one of the big ones.
Used to love Muscle Men.
It was something that your mum and dad, if they didn't have much money, they could still afford to get you these. Because I think we're only £1 or £2 or something for
a pound for like a little plastic bin full of them.
That's right. Yeah, and that was absolutely amazing. And then you'd swap them with your friends, and
because they're supposed to be little wrestlers, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like,
and
they were great,
that we had pink colour, and then
yeah. And I didn't realise was it Monster in My Pocket was the coloured ones, but very similar.
Monster in My Pocket was a different thing.
That's right, but
they did bring out muscles in different colours later on.
They did, didn't they, later on? And that's when I got a bit sick of them by then. And anyway.
I and my brother used to get them. We used to buy this because we lived in Howden. There was this cheap shop called Job Lot.
Yes.
And we used to go there and buy muscles.
Yeah, but you could get them in a newsagent, if I remember, even as well. Probably, back in the day.
Yeah, it's sort of stuff you expect to find like a pound stretchers or something back then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
they were great. It was a little card shop, little gift card shop that we used to get. Only at my granny's, so when we went down to visit her.
Yeah, and they're worth a bit of money now, aren't they?
I think some are. I think like anything, there'll be rare ones and there'll be common.
I just wish they did them again. In fact, I think I traced down the manufacturers or something only last year, and I emailed them asking if they would think about bringing them. I didn't get a reply.
They've done like sort of special edition ones. They did a pack of Street Fighter muscles a few years ago, where you got like the Street Fighter characters as muscle men.
I just think, even though they're quite simple, the design, I think they would even do well today amongst kids. You know, for what they are, pocket money toys.
Was that era of garbage pail kids and things as well?
Yes, and
by the only thing I did collect when I was a kid, rather than just get a few of and play with, was the garbage pail kids cards and things like that.
The cards, we did.
There was cards and there was little tiny miniatures that came in like a pack with bubblegum as well.
Do you remember the movie?
Yes.
Miniatures.
Yeah. It was terrible.
Terrible movie.
Yeah, it was, but
I've not seen it since then. Yeah.
No.
I don't remember being very good.
No, I remember watching it on a dodgy video, if you know what I mean. Back in the day.
When your friend had been to Benidorm and he brings back like a ropey videotape of...
That's the one, we can hardly see it, but you watch it all the way through, don't you? Those were the days.
People standing up and walking past the screen halfway through.
That's it, yeah.
I remember being most popular I ever was at school was going in one day with, about 3 months before it came out to the cinema, a copy of the Ninja Turtles movie.
Yes, we did that. We had one of them as well. I remember, and it was very dark, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Really, really dark.
It's a dark movie anyway, though. It's all in night in the back streets and stuff. But yeah, it was even darker in the pirate copy. Aye.
Yeah, I remember watching that and thinking afterwards, what have I watched? I'm not entirely sure. Did I enjoy that or not? RoboCop was the same. I remember watching RoboCop. I think I was in Portugal as a kid, and that was on in one of the pubs there.
It was the first videotape I ever owned. RoboCop.
Really?
Parents bought it for us one Christmas when it came out to buy.
I am seriously thinking about collecting VHS tapes again. I am. For the artwork. Yeah, just to have them even in the shop on display. Just get rows and rows of them. I think they look great.
They do.
Cheap with tips as well.
It's becoming a bit more of a thing. VHS collecting.
And I think I might even get a video player and start watching the odd one. You know, have like a VHS night.
Yeah.
You know, do something like that. I've got plenty of old TVs. It'd be good.
Chris needs one.
No, not anymore.
Have you got your sorted?
Chris has got one.
Aye, but he never wants. He doesn't want anyone that we've got. He wants the Sony Trinitron because he's heard.
No.
Because he's heard it's the best around.
Yeah, apparently the Panasonics are pretty good. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mick Sorter's out. He's got one for us.
Nice one.
There you go then. Anyway, so we've.
I wasn't telling him I had a Sony Trinitron.
So we've discussed with toys.
which was the best?
The best
What was the best toy?
Transformers all day long.
Or just
Star Wars.
I'm going to say Star Wars just because I've always envied people who had Star Wars.
I want to say Transformers because we're looking at it objectively. It's the stories and the characters and stuff I'm remembering fondly. I think a lot of the G1 toys weren't great. So I think for toys, the best toys of the 80s, I'm going to go with Star Wars. The Star Wars ships are still amazing.
Never owned any of those. Only the characters, unfortunately for me.
So, Michael, this is where you get to go on a rant.
I had quite a few of the Star Wars ships and things, and they are good. But I think the likes of Optimus Prime, Megatron, Galvatron, Ultra Magnus, they were built. I think they were built quality. I think they were actually quality made. It might be because I was a kid. I don't know, and I haven't.
Did you ever own a Megatron?
I never owned a Megatron.
Christmas morning when we got Transformers, my brother got Megatron and broke it Christmas morning.
Oh no!
It was so easily done with Megatron.
Right.
I will never buy a Transformers toy because I never got one when I was a kid, and I always wanted one.
Oh, I'll give you that one.
No.
What's that one called again, Simon? I just had.
That's Streetwise.
Streetwise. You can have Streetwise because you are not Streetwise. There you go.
Thank you very much. Very nice.
He's one of the combiners. He becomes part of Defensor.
Oh, I tell you what, I really wanted, Simon, is from one of the movies recently. Well, not recently. Is it not Devastator? Is it the one with the balls hanging?
Devastator.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that goes for good money. That I would love that one and build that one up.
What, the G1 or the movie version?
Movie version.
For the movie version, they've been releasing it in stages. For the movie versions, they've done a series called Studio Series, where they're like,
right.
if anyone collects like Star Wars, it's equivalent to like the Black Series, like these collector's editions, movie accurate things.
Uh-huh.
And they've released all the parts to make Devastator, and they've only just released the last one. You need 8 different robots to combine, make movie Studio Series Devastator, and he's like huge and unbalanced, but still looks great. But you're talking a cup. I think it's like 260 quid to buy all of the parts to make them.
God.
I haven't got them. No.
And all 8 of them, and they've only got one ball between them.
They had 2, and then they got shot. That was rubbish, wasn't it, in that film where he stood there and he says, I'm underneath the robot's scrotum or something.
Yeah, that was stupid. But that is a great Transformer, that, isn't it?
Not the original Devastator from the...
Yes.
Remember how he looked in the originals?
Yeah, he does look good too. Yeah, he does. But there you go.
I think he's going to get him.
He's going to get him.
I like the first Transformers movie, like the new ones.
Yeah, me too.
We got a bit daft after that, didn't we?
That is huge.
Do this without breaking them. There. That's how he originally looked.
That is massive. How much was that?
That was about 50, 60 quid, something like that.
Really? Is that all?
Yeah. So, different from the original movie where he smashes through everything.
Brilliant. I wouldn't mind that.
Nice, isn't it? But,
that is impressive, that way.
He's just on display.
That's
But I
cool,
splits down into the different robots.
Very cool.
You look deep in concentration there, Michael.
Michael's wondering how come I've got that and he's got that little thing.
Excuse me?
He often thinks that.
You need to pull his arms out, Michael.
I know,
Arms
but I
out
don't
the
want to
side.
break him. He's quite old. I don't want to break him. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to break him. I'll keep him. There you go. Anyway, there. So there we go. That's yours, Mick. You can have that.
We're primarily going to talk about video games. We're a video games related show. So, guys, we're going to discuss your favorite game based on a retro toy franchise. Now, I'm sure you'll be able to think of something because it's not like we haven't discussed this before. For you guys at home, we've already discussed this, and I wasn't recording.
Yeah. Here we go again. That's how retro we are.
A little bit of deja vu. Aye. Look, we're a bunch of guys in with 40s. We're kind of to handle technology like this.
Not like the kids.
We should have Chris doing this sort of thing. He's the young'un. He's the one who understands this sort of shiz.
Press the record button.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Chris can at least press a record button, unlike me. Right. So.
Simon.
Yes.
I wonder if you're going to pick Transformers.
Funnily enough, I'm going to pick Transformers War for Cybertron.
No way.
Yeah. For those watching at home, it consists of a trilogy. It's War for Cybertron, which was the first game, start of the war. We then got the best game, Fall of Cybertron. A lot to do with the construction of the Dinobots, Shockwave, that sort of thing, and how they actually end up in Earth. The last one, which was Rise of the Dark Spark, which was their attempt to merge that series in with the Michael Bay movies, and it's not as good. It's half good. The bits on Cybertron are great, the bits on Earth aren't. So it's a Gears of War style 3D shooter with added Transformers. You're not just slogging along as a robot. You can transform at any time into whatever your chosen robot can. So you can turn into a jet plane, race up the air, dogfight, land back down, fight on foot. If you're somebody like Optimus Prime, you're facing loads of enemies. You can be gunning them down, transform into truck mode, and just run them over. Obviously, like Grimlock. Grimlock actually works differently in it than all the others. He can't transform at will. He has to get angry. So he has like a rage meter, and when he finally gets angry, transforms into his T-Rex, and he's just then unstoppable. It's so good. It's so well acted. If you've got any love at all for the G1 Transformers, then the story is out of this world. It's the creation of the Dinobots, the creation of the Insecticons is in there. It's all done so well, and it's voiced by the original actors. It's got the music from the original movie. It's got like Stan Bush touch, things like that. Amazing multiplayer, but I don't know if that's still live with it being an older game. At the time, fantastic.
I heard it was on the PC as well. Is that right?
It was on the PC. It was a digital only thing on PC, and it's not on Steam anymore though. So there are digital copies available on places that sell digital games, but they're expensive. PS4 also got a digital remaster of it, but that's been taken down. So unfortunately,
why have they all been taken down?
Licensing. Activision don't have the license for Transformers anymore.
Oh, for sure.
The last one they did was by Platinum Games, Transformers Devastation, which was like a Bayonetta type game, which was really good, but just not as good as them. Probably one of the most recommended games of that generation, let alone toys. You don't have to play them in any. There is an order. It goes War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, Dark Spark. But just get Fall of Cybertron. It'll cost you £5 in CEX, and it's amazing.
Good.
Definitely going to give that a try, though.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Mick?
Well, I thought about picking things like Micro Machines, and then I thought, well, there's a lot of series of games that I've played a lot more of and still playing up to this day, which is the Lego series of games.
Yeah.
Star Wars Lego, Marvel Lego.
Now
I know they're aimed at kids. Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones 2.
Great.
But they're aimed at kids, but then now I've got kids, I just want sometimes a game I can pick up when I put it in my bed, play an hour of it, put it down, and then you get caught up in it, and you want to collect all the characters. You want to find all the mini kits. You just want to do all the little bits, and then finish through the game, and then do the clear up. And again, but even doing all the clear up, it's just so easy to pick up and put down. You don't have to think. And I quite like that in the game sometimes. And they do it so well.
Yeah, they're good fun, aren't they?
The humor in them is
absolutely.
decent. There's good humor in them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Played through a couple of them. I did the Star Wars original trilogy one.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lego Indiana. Did that.
So, which was your favorite one, Mick? Which was the best? Or the best of the franchises they did?
I think it would have to be the Star Wars ones because that's the one I started on. But the Marvel ones, the Marvel superheroes, the first one was probably my favorite game of them all. The worst one was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
They changed the system somehow. I can't even remember now. It was so bad, and I just didn't enjoy it.
I quite like the Jurassic World one because you got Jurassic World, and then you can go back and do Jurassic Park, Lost World.
Yeah,
Great.
I did that one on the Vita. I had that one.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one as well.
I never played that one actually.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, just such good fun. No, it doesn't tax your brain. You don't have to think of, oh my god, I'm gonna have to go back to this puzzle today, or give it up because you don't know how to do it. They're all pretty simple.
Nice one. Chris, are you paying attention this time?
I am, yeah. Right, so I did pick Micro Machines. I can see it behind Mick there. He's got on his Miss Pac-Man board. So Micro Machines when I was a kid, I had on the Game Boy first, and then did it on the Mega Drive, and I just loved it. I just loved the novelty of it. I loved the sort of little cars racing around on pool tables and back gardens and tool sheds and living rooms, and it was just good fun. And you had the boats in the bath and all that kind of stuff, and it was just it was really colourful. Not so much on the Game Boy, but on the Mega Drive, a really colourful game. And the music was good. You had the it was just really good fun. Top-down tank controls at a time where racing games weren't particularly great on home consoles because 3D wasn't really a big thing back then. I just really, really enjoyed Micro Machines. Still do.
Well,
got my
it's
little
still
collection
fun.
here.
Yeah. Did you ever try the new one on PS4? Micro Machines World Tour or something? Yeah,
No,
don't.
it's bad.
You think, how can they get it wrong? It's too zoomed in.
Can't see where you're going.
You don't really have any time to react to what you're seeing because it's Micro Machines, you've got you're flying around the table and it's often quite tight corners, and before you fall off the end of the table or whatever, you don't see it coming, so it relies on you to memorize the tracks so you know what's coming. Well, that's not really the fun. It's a Twitch game, really, isn't it? It's a there. No, I was disappointed.
It needs to be a top-down 2D game. The Switch are doing a lot of games like that, remakes of good 2D games. I would play that, a remake of original style Micro Machines.
Codemasters have tried to do it a couple of times, but they don't have the license anymore. So they've done it and called it different things, but they've never done it proper, like you say, top down. They've always tried to 3D it in some way.
You keep it simple.
They didn't do Mod Nation races. Was that Codemasters? Mod Nation
No,
races?
Mod Nation was
No.
one. It was in-house Sony, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
Just because I love that game. I enjoy it.
I've got it. I've never played it, but is it worth checking out? Is it?
Absolutely, yeah. Really good fun.
Nice one. How then, Michael? He's been very secretive. We don't know what he's picked.
Yeah, he's been.
Well, I picked 2.
You're not allowed to?
Wait for it.
I suppose I had 3, but that's a series.
Yeah, you had 3. I picked 2. Right. Favorite would probably be Super Star Wars on the Super Nintendo. I loved it doesn't count. Star Wars.
It's not based on a toy line, though, is it?
Star Wars is a toy line.
The game.
I bet it was a toy line based on a movie franchise.
It's a game, yeah. But I really enjoyed that out of all of them. Like Star Wars. It was good fun. But more importantly, what I'd rather talk about is what Chris picked.
Ah.
That, yeah?
Yeah.
That's my pick.
What a pile of shit.
Oh, no!
Rubbish.
He does this every.
Number one bestseller, 93% Games Master magazine. It's rubbish.
What?
Simon, look, it's utter rubbish. It's barely playable to this day now. You try it. I mean, you go too fast. It's uncontrollable.
Are you not not very good at it? Do you just not need to just get good?
No, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. It's absolute rubbish. I've got them all.
Did you have it when you were a kid? And did you always lose? Is this the problem?
It's like brand new. This one as well. I'm going to burn it.
You've even got the rubbish version where it doesn't have the extra controller ports on it.
Yeah, that's why.
I've got a few versions, and this is like spanky, and it's getting burnt after this.
Oh, don't burn it. I'll have it.
No one needs this forced upon them, unless.
I'll tell you what, then, Michael. I'll choose.
Do you know what? We'll have one podcast.
It's absolutely.
I'll change my choice. Look, I've got this toy here. The games are fantastic. Do you ever play them? Mario 64 or Super Mario Bros?
I suppose it had its 80s cartoon as well, didn't it?
It did, and I used to love the cartoon. But that's rubbish. I'm sorry, it is. It's rubbish. It's a rubbish game. It's overhyped, absolutely.
I gave you $5 for it, Michael.
No, I'd rather burn it and give you the $5. I'm sorry.
I'll give you 20 quid for it.
I just can't get in it. I don't know why. What was the hype? You know, what was so special?
It was fun.
It was fun.
The problem. Right, I think I see the problem. The problem, Michael, is Micro Machines is rubbish on your own. You have to have friends.
I haven't got friends. but I've even tried it.
He had one and he swapped an N64 for it.
No, the problem was when Michael was younger, his parents used to have to tie a pork chop to the dog so it would sit with him.
It's too quick. It's just uncontrollable. And
you learn the tracks. That's what you do. You learn the tracks and you anticipate the next time you go around.
You don't need to. That's what I was saying. The original one, you've got a chance of getting around the track because you see it coming. It was the PS4 version that zoomed you in too close. The SNES version was rubbish as well.
I'm almost ready to make him watch me
all
play
I'll say
this.
is the game's shite, but the actual Micro Machines were great, and I used to collect them. I thought they were great.
I've got my little collection down here still.
Yeah, I used to collect them.
Truck and me.
Great fun.
They came in 5.
Put your beard down, Michael. You're getting too brave.
But there you go. I'm sorry.
Does Michael just wait before each podcast thinking, what can I say to wind everybody up? Game Boys, Micro Machines, and was it the N64?
Yeah, rubbish.
Oh, by the way, I revisited the N64 recently, and I've been experimenting and playing with it. Top dog, like, loving it.
What's top dog, Chris? What's top dog?
I'm plowing through Mario 64.
That controller.
Brilliant.
Mario 64.
Mm.
It's shite. Blocky is anything. It's just rubbish. Out of all the Mario games, it's probably the worst.
No,
I can pick up and play Mario Brothers original now all day long. The game you're on about, I think I've probably played it about 20 minutes and thought this is terrible.
Do you like Mario Sunshine?
Yeah, I do like that.
I do.
But the graphics for it way better.
I do
way
like
better.
Sunshine. I kind of play Sunshine. You can't invert the controls, and I can't play it.
No way, it's great. Great fun.
Well, I'm sure it is. You can't invert the controls, and the camera angle's wrong, and I just kind of do it.
Great, you just don't know what you're doing. That's all.
Oh, there he goes. You just have to get good, man.
Yeah. But yeah, Mario 64 is the worst out of all of them, I would say. I prefer Mario 2.
I like Mario 2.
I do. I think
Mario 2.
Mario 64, and then probably, well, Dr. Mario, but that's not like a platform game as such. The worst Mario game is the most recent one, that Mario Deluxe, the Mario Brothers Deluxe on the Switch. Right,
it's just generic crap. I don't like that.
Or Mario Maker.
No, Mario Deluxe. It's the it's New Super Mario Brothers from the Wii U for the Switch.
Yeah.
I got it on the Wii U and hardly played it because it was too similar to the ones I'd already played on Wii.
It's just generic Mario, isn't it?
It's Mario by the numbers. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. to say,
There's
but
nothing.
there's just nothing
no,
that
no.
grabs you.
I mean,
Not like
on
Mario
the Wii-
64.
Wait
On the Wii,
15 years and Hendo will find something wrong with it.
no. I mean, Mario Galaxy on the Wii was fantastic.
Great
When
game,
that
yeah,
came out.
love it.
Absolutely brilliant game. Brilliant. It was totally different again. Nintendo pulled it out the bag again. I've got to say, I do love Nintendo. I do. And they pulled it out the bag with that one. I thought it was fantastic.
I've been playing
Right.
Paper Mario.
I've got
Paper
a
Mario
question
as well,
for
Simon.
Hendo.
Brilliant game. Absolutely an immersive game. And you pick it up and you just want to play it to the end. I found.
Sorry, Mick, what was that?
Hendo, I just saw a game. What's your opinion of Final Fantasy VII, Hendo?
I haven't played any of them. Not one.
See, I'm
Not
glad
one.
that came up now because I wouldn't want you to ruin the RPG special at some point.
I don't really like RPGs, and every time I get Final Fantasy, I sell them straight away. Not my thing. Even Zelda, I've only played Zelda on the SNES once.
Sorry. Starting off.
And no, I enjoyed it. I did actually. It was only last year I put it on for the first time. I enjoyed it, but I stopped because I didn't have time to get immersed into the game. Really, but I do enjoy that. It was good. There you go.
Would Paper Mario not count as an RPG? RPG-ish.
Possibly ish. I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's talking about 15 years ago now, and I played that and I completed that. That was good. And
You know now you've said you've enjoyed something, Simon's going to edit it so he goes, Micro Machines. I enjoyed that.
No way.
So,
I enjoyed.
So what was your game choice?
Game choice.
Oh.
What?
I
Star
never
Wars?
picked one. Super Star Wars, which doesn't bloody count. 'Cause it's not a.
It doesn't count. Yeah. I was more. I just wanted to get my point across about Micro Machines, how shite it is.
Podcast with our guest for this episode 5. Our guest this time is James Davo. Is it Davo or Davo? James Davo from the Facebook page Transformers Selling Unlimited, one of the more popular Transformers fan pages. Great place to go for any kind of selling or even just chatting about Transformers. A lot on there. There'll be a link to it down below in the description. Get yourselves along if you've got any interest in the best robots from the 80s. Do you allow GoBots on there?
Mate, anything. If it transforms, as long as it's not sexual, fine. And even then, fine. No, anything.
As long as it's after 9 o'clock.
Aye. GoBots, those Macross things, the jets with legs, mate, anything. I'm not super fussy. If it's transformery, champion.
Great stuff. So, as this has been a game and toy special episode of the podcast, we've got some questions for you, James. So I think what's best if you tell us, first of all, about yourself and about Transformers Selling Unlimited.
Aye, right.
As broad as that.
Edited now. Presumably just edit out the rubbish, because there'll be some rubbish. Well, let me think. It's about 10 months old. I set it up about October last year, I think, because I was fed up of all the censorship on certain other groups where it was just a bit boring. You could only post one list. Oh, you can't have a conversation. You can't be friendly. You can't have a bit of chat or jokes. And I thought, oh, stuff this. I'd rather just set up a silly one. So hence the name. I've been working on for ages, thinking of a funny name. And yeah, set it up from there, invited a bunch of people, got to a couple hundred, and then I just went mad from there. Kept inviting people, and it took off. And I love it. It's a mad little power trip that it's my own little castle I can be in charge of.
And in those few months as well, you say it hasn't been going that long. What is it? It must be getting towards 2,000 members now as well already.
It's on 1.6 something. It's like 1,650. So yeah, it's flying for 10 months. It's unbelievable. But I mean, I invite people like crazy. You know, I'll shamelessly promote on anything I can. You know, hence this. But so I'm proactive with it. But yeah, it's doing well. I'm pleased.
Nice one. So about yourself, the obvious question: how did you get into Transformers?
Oh, well, just 80s, mate. You know, the standard, I think. I remember, I haven't prepared any of this, by the way, so it's going to be terrible.
That's
But
okay, either
anyway,
way.
oh, good. Well, I'll fit in.
How we run.
I remember being amazed by this kid at school. He had this little car that's, I can't explain it, but the way the legs unfurled out from this little bumblebee robot, I couldn't believe that this little car increased in size to be a little robot. I was just blown away, like the physics of it. I couldn't believe it. So I said, "Oh, what's this? Oh, Transformer. All right, where do you get those? Oh, Joseph's in Sunderland toy shop. Right, mother, Transformer, please. You know, save up your pocket money. Yeah." And I think I got a Bumblebee, then I got a Skywarp, which is like a black jet. That's an expensive one you get for your birthday type of thing. And yeah, I bought the comic, loved it. So it's just been from the 80s, really. I've just loved it, and obviously saw the film, which is literally my favourite film of all time.
The
Not
cartoon or the Michael Bay one?
Oh, the original. Come on. I've not even seen any. Mate, I've seen one bit and it was bad enough. I can't. No, the original 86 is my favourite film of all time. No irony, no jokes. I just love it. It's perfect. The soundtrack, the characters, everything. I absolutely love it. I watch it at least once a year, maybe twice. If I ever buy a new TV or projector, that goes on immediately just to christen, you know, whatever new AV product I've got. Just watch that. So yeah, I'm a massive fan. I love it. I'm not going on too much, am I?
That's all right. That's what we want. That's what we want. Don't worry. So yeah, the 80s movie, the 86 Transformers the movie. That's one of my favorites as well. Actually, I need to get myself a Blu-ray of that. I've still only got my DVD. But it's the good DVD where Spike says the word shit. So yeah.
Aye.
What's your favorite line? Your favorite line from Transformers the movie?
Line.
It's so quotable.
Too many. It pleases me to be the first. Without trying to go off topic with your question, it's not so much the favourite line, it's the fact that Orson Welles has a part in it. It was his last speaking part.
It was. Orson Welles' the last speaking part, yes.
Exactly. Massive, ridiculous, big name. Leonard Nimoy's in it. Big nerd credentials from that. And Leonard Nimoy actually recorded or re-recorded some of Orson Welles' lines because he was that.
Yeah, because he was very ill.
He was really ill. He was bedridden at the time, and when they spoke to him about the film, they said, "Oh, you'll be playing a planet," and he just sort of smiled and laughed. But the fact that it had this big name cast like Judd Nelson, who was in Breakfast Club. He was Hot Rods.
Yeah.
Robert Stack, Ultra Magnus, who my mum knows, because I made my mum watch it and she enjoyed it. So yeah, it's not so much the quotable lines. I mean, they're amazing, all the quotable lines. But just the whole thing of having a proper cast. It wasn't a kid's toy. Like if you kids advert for toys rather. Like if you watch the actual TV cartoon, I might get shot for this, but it's crap because it's just Saturday morning rubbish.
A lot of it hasn't aged well.
Yeah, it's terrible. The animation's bad. The voices are bad. But the movie is an actual movie with actual, human emotion and real. Oh, it sounds pretentious. With actual story and the death in it, So yeah, brilliant.
That's excellent. You compare it to the other movies of the time, the animated movies, the G.I. Joe movie or the GoBots movie or something, and it's streets ahead. It's the animation for the time, I think, is amazing. It's probably the first time a lot of us saw proper anime. It's class. And while on it, my favourite line though is, "I got better things to do tonight than die."
Yeah.
What a line. I wish I was as cool as Springer. But
I mean, just to make a little silly point, that it's a bit of a nerdy point, but like you say that line, which is famous amongst all the nerds that we like Transformers. But when he says that, he holds up a little missile that would have absolutely no relevance to anything ever. But the fandom of Transformers now is such where you buy the toy, they'll make that little missile, or you can go on the 3D print site and just buy that little missile. The fact is, there's only one movie, so they've just gone through it with a fine tooth comb to milk and wring out every single ounce of anything from it. So, that's really boring, isn't it? Sorry.
No, not at all.
Like the nerd level is off the charts, is what I'm saying. Every second of footage in it has been analysed by the fans.
It has.
And I love stuff like that.
So okay, we're going with the fans, with the older fans. Which Transformers do you think are the most popular with the older fans? So either which Transformers characters, which episodes, which series, which ones do you think have stood the test of time that we've grown up with? And like I say, some of them aren't great. But which ones do you think are the popular ones now?
Oh God, I'm not really a barometer for popular now. If I'm honest, I don't. I'm a complete antisocial nerd. So,
which are popular with you?
Popular with me. Well, I think the designs are timeless. The first 2 series worth of characters, even though they were like a hodgepodge of different designs brought in from different companies, as you'll know, Simon, but maybe other people might not. The company, Takara, they bought in the cars from they were Diaclone cars. They bought in the jets from someone else. They bought in the guns. So all the characters, they're completely disparate. They have no real link apart from being Japanese robots. But yet those designs, 30, 35 years on, they absolutely stand up. So, you go into a shop now, you go on Forbidden Planet, and you'll see a pack with the jets, the 3 jets, the black, blue, and grey jets, as you well know, as you bought me one, in case I sold out. And they're exactly the same character designs as 35 years ago. So I think that's what people want. They want just a reimagination of the same classic design because it stands up. Maybe like a car or something, or maybe like Mario. You don't reinvent Mario. You just put Yoshi in. You just you give him a squirt pack on his back. You don't reinvent. You just move that classic design forward because they stand up so well.
I think their strength was the characters. Here we are 30, 40 years later, and we still want Starscream. And we want Starscream because Starscream is such a great character. We want it was more than just a hodgepodge, like you say. They imported Hasbro didn't invent Starscream. They imported the jet toy from Japan. Was that a Diaclone? Maybe. Anyway.
Oh God, I don't remember.
They imported that it was just a transforming jet toy from Japan. They got Marvel to write a character bio for him, and over the last 30, 40 years, he's developed into this pop culture icon.
Yeah,
and it's just why in almost every iteration of Transformers you get a Starscream because he's great. He's probably my personal favorite. But that's
Starscream. Yeah,
probably. Nice. I mean, yeah. He's my avatar currently on Netflix.
Right.
So
you're not be happy with the film,
then? The film. Oh, the animated film.
Well, the fact that he got a bit of a.
That he gets killed.
Killing. Yeah.
And I love the scene though. Who disrupts my coronation?
Perfect scene.
He's so pompous and up himself. And
love it.
Galvatron just destroys him, and I love that scene. It's great.
Yeah.
And because he's Starscream, of course, he comes back.
Yeah. As a ghost, apparently.
And then he's even in Beast Wars. So.
Pass. Don't know.
So on that theme, what do you think about the new Netflix series, Transformers Siege?
Oh, mate, I haven't seen it. I don't have Netflix. I don't know.
Of all the people who I would have thought would have seen. Okay. Well, I liked it.
I watched the this is you're gonna have to cut this out. I watched the last one, the Combiner Wars stuff.
That wasn't great.
Yeah, it was all sort of a bit clunky. It was okay. Shoehorning characters in, Windblade has been as powerful as major characters, and I thought this was a bit odd.
It was odd.
No,
It was badly animated, I thought, the Prime Wars trilogy. It was, there wasn't much of a story, and there was just weird things going on. Do you remember the bit in Titan's Return where Trypticon is attacking and Optimus realizes he has to get the Matrix as far away as possible?
I don't think I've even seen up to that point.
So,
I think I only saw half.
Well, that's the plot. He's got to get the Matrix as far away as possible in case Trypticon gets it. So he hands it to Perceptor and tells him to run away with it.
Yeah.
So he's got a guy there that can turn into aeroplanes, race cars, and the rest of it. But he hands it to a guy who turns it into a microscope and tells him to run.
Yeah. Transform. Yeah.
He gets about 100 feet away, and then has a better idea and comes back anyway. Yeah.
You're going down a rabbit hole if you're starting to pick into the.
I suppose it's that wasn't very good. Okay, doke. So, what we tend to do as well is once we've got someone on here, we do what's called the 5 for fun, where we ask you 5 quick choice questions.
All right.
It's an and or an or.
Oh, this is going to be a CBT check or something.
No.
Which I have a 50% chance of passing, but yeah, carry on.
So these are usually written by Chris on the back of a fag packet.
Right.
So this is what he's come up with. So Ecto 1 or the Turtle Wagon?
Ecto 1 or Turtle Wagon? Toy wise or just vehicle wise?
Either.
Oh god, right, turtles.
Turtle Wagon?
Yeah, I prefer the turtles. I don't like the Ecto stuff. I don't like that Transformer they brought out of it.
Oh, I like
turtles.
That. Okay.
Nah.
Snarf or Battle Cat?
Jesus, this is left field, isn't it?
That one wasn't mine.
Schnarf, because Schnarf used to only say his own name, so Schnarf.
Okay. So, which toy growing up gave you the most pleasure, regardless of price?
I can give you a story for this. Right. I was in France with my dad in about 87, 88 maybe. You'll probably appreciate this. I don't know if anyone else will. But so I was in France. We were in some big town in France. Don't know if it was Paris, some town. And I'm just like 15-year-old or something. Anyway, so we go into this little backstreet shop. So, of course, I'm looking for Transformers. Like any sensible child at the time is just Transformer focused. There's a shop. Do they have Transformers? Anyway, so they had they had Shockwave, the G1 Shockwave, which is this purple laser gun. It's amazing toy, amazing character. It's my second favourite Transformer character in the universe. It's my first favourite G1 toy. And they had it on this shelf in France, and I'm there with my dad and his girlfriends and their kids, her kids rather. And I just say, Dad, please understand, please get me this toy. I know I always ask for toys, but we'll never see this again because it didn't come out in the UK. You literally couldn't buy this. I've never seen it in my life. Please get me this. And he got me it. And I've still got it. So it's a G1 Transformer Shockwave, which is like this one-eyed robot. He's a brilliant character, and he turns into a gun, and it's like a hand-sized gun that you could, hold and run around with, and it makes noises. And that's it. It's my favourite ever. It's the most pleasure I've ever had from a toy, and it's a Transformer. And I love it. I've still got it. So, yeah.
Well, the kids at school jealous.
I don't know if I took it to school. I think, you see...
Did you go to school in Sunderland, though?
Yeah. Sorry?
Did you go to school in Sunderland, though? Because you probably wouldn't want to, then.
Exactly. I didn't really take them in. See, I still subscribed with the Transformers comic when I was like 14, 15. When I was sort of getting older. Other people moved on, and I stayed with Transformers. So I don't think I shared the hobby with too many people. I just got me comic delivered, had me toys, had me little fights with them. And so, no, I don't think I took it to school. You couldn't now, Jesus. Going to school.
So your next question
Yeah.
Which grown-up toy gave you the most pleasure, regardless of price? So we don't mean anything rude by that. When we which are the modern, reiterations.
I'll just have to touch my screen because it was saying something.
By any company.
Right. Let's see. So any toy, not transform.
Can be Transformers. Doesn't have to be.
Like console, are you counting consoles? That's a toy.
If you've got pleasure out of it, absolutely.
Oh God, I don't know. What was the question again? Adult toy. That's it. It's giving me pleasure. Okay. It's a crap answer. I don't have a better one prepared, but the dinosaur Transformers, like in 2013, I remember being on the internet at work, and I found a site that talked about these masterpiece Transformers, and there was another company making them, and they were basically making these toys. Simon will know what I'm going to say. They make these toys that were not made by official Transformers, and I'd never heard of this. So this company ended up bringing out a set of 5 gigantic dinosaur Transformers. So they're about 12 inches, sort of scale wise, and they're all 5 of the dinosaurs from the original series that the official company doesn't make. And they ended up coming out, and you get them as a set. So when I completed that set and had all the 5 dinosaurs on a shelf, I just thought, this is it. It just doesn't get better than this.
What was the name of them? What they called? Was it?
The Fans Toys Dinobots?
Fans Toys ones, was it? Right.
Yeah,
I'll put a picture of them right here.
I forget. Yeah, sorry. I'm talking like nerd talk.
No, that's all right, because what we do is we'll add in little pictures like here of what you're talking
about.
Brilliant.
Well, yeah, when I first read this,
it'll be right here. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to put another one there.
Be there for me.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm the editor. It's going there. Sorry, James. Excuse these 2 ruffians.
No, mate, it's all right. I'm sorry for putting in. Just to finish the answer, that's when I discovered, oh my God, as an adult, I can still buy these Transformers that are, adult size collectible robots that you can pop in a glass cabinet without the shame. Well, what's the opposite of shame?
Right.
Less shame. So with less shame than, say, just some kiddie things in a cabinet or whatever. So just the fact that I realised I could start collecting these adult collectibles.
They're expensive, though, aren't they?
There were other fans that like the same. That was a big eye opener for me. Anyway, sorry.
Those Fans Toys things, they're pricey.
Oh, ridiculous. I mean, there's a question there. How much do you insure your collection for? I've probably got £15,000 worth of Transformers.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually something that we'll probably make a decent discussion on the podcast sometime, because what do you do? Yeah. Because if this room I'm sitting in, if this went up in flames,
yeah,
well, I don't know, a lot of money in here, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, I think like most of us didn't pay top whack for it because we've been collecting a long time, but with current prices, what's a few hundred NES, a few hundred SNES, and a few hundred N64 games worth just off the top of my head, it's and I guess.
Oh yeah.
And then when Transformers wise, my collection's nothing like yours. I only started really getting back into Transformers a few years ago, so I've mainly been collecting the new releases, what gets called in the community, dear viewers, Chug.
Yeah, that's
Chug.
That's really stupid.
Classics, Henkei, Universe and Generations, I believe it stands for.
Yeah.
Modern iterations of classic characters, if you like.
Aye. I love how you have to be all professional and explain things. And so you're putting on your posh northern voice as if you're on Look North with Mike Neville or something.
It has been said in the comments that I'm the next Alan Robson. Yeah.
Alan Robson? Oh, Jesus. Do you have time for a side story?
I'd really rather not. Yes, tonight on Night Owls.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally what it was. I was listening to Alan Robson, And he said, come on, listeners, want you to ring into Night Owls because we've got a hot debate tonight. This is real. He said, who would win, a shark or a lion? Ring in tonight. And I thought, is this a joke? No. So the listeners kept ringing in with their thoughts. Alan, well, I reckon like a shark would win in the water and a lion would win on land.
Yeah, thanks for that insight.
we had about 2 hours of that, and that was the conclusion. Yeah.
I tell you what, that's the question on the next podcast.
So Alan Robson, is he still alive?
Speaking of fighting sharks, did anyone see Mike Tyson fighting the shark the other night on telly?
What?
Yeah, you heard me. Now, the picture you've got in your head is Mike Tyson in the water with boxing gloves punching a shark, yeah?
That would be awesome.
It would be. No, they're diving him down in fucking chainmail and everything. It was awful. I turned it off.
Did he fight it?
I don't know. I turned it off. He was in chainmail. I wasn't interested.
Punches a shark. I love it. There's a sitcom in that.
There's a TV series, Celebrity Shark Fight. There's a TV series in that, I tell you.
Yeah.
I can think of a few.
You get Joe Swash, you dip him in something, and hire him overboard, and
Aye. Dip him in lava.
Sorry, Joe Swash doesn't watch. He's Mrs. Mate. But anyway. All right, well, that took a tangent. Because we haven't even finished the questions. We've got one more.
Is it a quick fire 5 questions?
These are supposed to be the quick fire 5. We normally do these in like 10 seconds flat. It's normally answer. Instead, we've had a bloody debate.
Did throw like one that needed an answer though, and not just like and or.
It's because Chris was drunk again, and he wrote these on the back of a fag packet instead of actually writing with some decent questions. Chris, you had one job. So the last question though: Hot Rod or Ultra Magnus?
This is still Transformers, right? This is not like an order from a Dutch website.
No. Hot Rod might be, but I don't think Ultra Magnus is.
They're both crap characters, to be honest. Hot Rod killed Optimus Prime.
Well, he did, like.
Ultra Magnus was quite dull and a bit sort of poor-faced. So it's a neither. It's a draw of losers. Not a fan of either. No. That's a strange question. No, I don't have a satisfactory answer, apart from the obvious rude jokes. Hot Rod and Ultra Magnus. I mean, who came up with those names? Jesus. So, I don't know. Sorry.
Who would have made
Hot Rod? Because...
Hot Rod. What about Rodimus Prime? Was he worse?
Well, he was amazing at the end of the film, and he turned into a complete fanny in all of the comics and all of the rest of the universe, because he just kept having these moral quandaries. Oh, should I kill the bad guys? Because, that makes us just like them. No! Kill them! That's what you do. You're good, they're bad, kill them. So I'm not interested in moral pontificating villains, rather heroes. So yeah, 3 fannies, I'm afraid.
And he did turn into a space Winnebago.
Exactly, ridiculous toy, and I had that toy as a kid. And you couldn't even move. His arms and legs were all locked in place. His arms moved on one hinge, his legs were locked, and he transformed into a bus. So, rubbish.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll take that as our final word. Rodimus Prime was crap because he turned into a bus.
Yeah. Cue mass exodus from Greece.
Thank you very much, our guest this week, James Davo of Transformers Cell Unlimited. If you've got any interest at all in Transformers, transforming robots, mecha, or anything of the type, get yourself over there. There's a link in the description down below. It's a great community. Really great people. Get yourself over. Make sure you join. Thanks very much, James.
If I could just say one little thing, if you didn't mind, and thanks for having me. Nice to meet you all. Just not to go mad on self-promotion, but just thanks to everyone who's in it. Because it's the right laugh. Every day, it's the first thing I look at on my phone. It's really funny to see what people say on it. It's always done. All the selling and whatnot's done with a good laugh. So anyone who's in it and supporting me, I really appreciate it. So thank you.
I can vouch for that. I'm on there every day myself as well.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, James. Right, well, it's that point where we tend to end up on a quote. We'll give you a quote, and the first person to get it will win a prize. So, Mick, it's your turn. You're going to come up with a quote, and if anyone gets it, do you want to show them what the prize will be?
It's a scale model Mega Drive.
A Mega Drive scale model.
Sealed.
Sealed. Perfect for the Sega collector out there, like Chris, who isn't allowed to get it.
I really want that as well. I really want one of them.
So, Mick, what's your quote?
So it's not so much a quote somebody said, it's more a tagline to a retro toy.
A marketing slogan.
Yes, marketing slogan. That's the one. And the quote is, "What it is beautiful. What it is beautiful." Anyone that guesses? Try not to get it right. Yeah, blank look says it all. Cool. All good.
No idea. What
No
it
idea.
is beautiful.
What it is beautiful.
It'd be like Polly Pocket or something.
Here is Justin on this.
So, if you know what that is, make sure you put an answer in the post for this video over on Northeast Retro Den. If you're the first one to get it right, you'll win the prize from Mick.
If you're watching it on YouTube and you're not a member of Northeast Retro Den, join the Facebook group, and that's where you enter the competitions rather than in the comments on YouTube.
Yes. Northeast Retro Den.
But also,
there is a link in the description. Get yourselves over and answer the question and win yourself a scale model of a Mega Drive. Nice one.